Vibe blowing at the jack. Got the loud jumping at the back. Everything I'm on slack. Everything I do is got the band jumping at the back. Vibe blowing at my jack. Got the loud jumping at the back. Everything I'm on slack.
We've been with the Brazilians. This would be the first.
They wild.
I'm innocent.
Bro, you hear that guy? What's going on, everybody? It is Coach Greg Adams back in here with another YouTube live stream. Shout out to the Coach Gang and that shoot for being in here, being involved, and being active on this YouTube channel. And welcome back to the internationally known Wake Up Show, part of the Free Agent Lifestyle podcast. Here on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel, you are indeed in here with the Bruce Wayne of this ish, the King of Kings, the King of Content, and the speaker of truth, yours truly, the notorious one, aka Mr. Coachellini, better known as the prognosticator Coach Stradamus. And you're in Vienna, Austria, with none other than EWF. That is every woman's fantasy in the whole fucking show. I'm the CEO Nigero of Fixes Binds LLC, the unbinder, the undebatable, the undisputed best entertainment here on YouTube. You can call me Senor Gregorio Greybeard. The ladies love to call me Mr. Third Leg Greg. I'm also the man with one trabajo. That is the Mitch Slapper. And I'm also known as the Anointed One. Acknowledge me, all right? I'm the founding father of the After Pill, the junior college sociologist, the Morpheus of the Beatty Matrix, the Chocolate Confucius, the Black Moses, the Deliverer. I'm also known as the man that walks in the spirit of Elijah. I'm the man with more nicknames than anyone in the game, but in case you forget those names, just call me CGA. That is See God Allah, and I'll be the 14-time demonetized champion of YouTube. We're going to kick it with you for a couple of hours, man. I didn't forget about you. It's all love. I've been traveling the world and I can't find my baby. And I've been going great, man. Look, this is the third stream of this week, and it's the third location that I've been in. We started off this journey in Munich, Germany. All right. And then that was at Monday, right? That was Monday. Then on Tuesday, we entered into Prague. All right. We were in Prague in the Czech Republic. And now today we arrived in Vienna, Austria, and I'm going to the Eastern Bloc tour going for the King of Kings, the King of the Red Eastern Bloc tour states and cities. We're in Vienna, Austria, and we're a few hours away from one Arnold Schwarzenegger's house. We're not going to go to that. Hey, and it just started drizzling here, man. The weather was good. It was hot and warm. And look at me. All right, I'm feeling good, getting my travel on and putting hands on hips. You know what I'm talking about. And when I dip, you dip, we dip. All right, we got that going on. And we're today's main event topic. We're going to talk about Diddy. Diddy poised to have a come from behind, pause, victory against the feds in his case versus Cassie. Pretty sure next week we'll get a verdict and he'll probably be acquitted on most, if not all of the charges, and he'll walk. All right. And of course, the news media got that information. CGA, you know, been telling you Cassie not a victim. She a volunteer. She should be up on some RICO charges too. All right. For facilitating. Yes. And the news media even called me out for it. So you already know what I already predicted here. But anyway, with him poised to beat this particular case, he now has two other problems. He's got one guy who says he got Duke shooted by Diddy, and we have another woman that says him and his son ran a train on her. All right, it gets worse for Diddy. So when it rains, it pours. And if he beats this case, there's going to be more cases to come along for sure. And where there's smoke, there's fire, 100%. So we're going to go over that later on in today's show. We're also going to cover sexless marriage. All right. We have two women that say they don't want to have sex with their husbands. What do you have to look forward to when you possibly get married? Yes, this isn't all women and it's not all men, but yes, a lot of you guys will go through a drought. And some women don't think, you know, I got to give you duty and pity sex. We're going to hear from two women in this particular case. So you guys can get the real peel of what I've been telling you days and days and weeks and months and years ago about the realities of relationships and marriage. We're also got doom and gloom CGA. How much does it cost to raise a child? For those who always say, but coach, but I want to have kids, ass nigga. All right. You niggies. All right. Kids ain't free. All right. How much does it cost to raise a child? And we'll get to the actual figures and we'll break it down to see if it's true or not. Because I hear a lot of childless individuals saying this can't be true. I also hear a lot of parents saying this can't be true. And we're going to tell you how true it is. We're also got Straggle and Sniggle Theater with a warm embrace granny. Somebody's Annie granny pants wants to have two YNs clap those cheeks. And I see a nice flat back Supreme out there. But to contribute to today's show, $, the Notorious CGA on the Cash App. It is Venmo, Coach Greg Adams TV, and it is PayPal, paypal.me/Coach Greg Adams. And that is near the top of the description box on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. And you can super chat by clicking the link on the top of the live chat on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. We also have an update on a Major League Baseball player who was putting hands on hips of a minor. All right, his verdict is in, and we're going to find out how much time he's going to spend behind bars, all right, for putting hands on minors. We're going to talk about that and much, much more. But did I get that to contribute to today's show? I did it already. Thank you for being here, man, and thank you for patiently waiting for me to jump back on the internet. My internet was none too good over in Prague, but I'm going to tell you, the flatbacks was good, all right? The views were good, all right? The internet, no bueno. Actually, the hotel that I was in was a bank. All right, it was a bank prior to it being a hotel, and I'm pretty sure that affected the internet. But now we're in Vienna, and we're looking at what's going on out here. All right, right now, for you guys to know, all right, on these three Eastern Bloc tours, which were my favorite cities and which one was not my most favorite city, for those that want to know, I'll tell you right now. All right, but in order for me to tell you, you got to hit the like button. Do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that like button so I don't have to dance out here in Austria and do the give me the likes, don't pass a scroll. Mugga, below. All right. Yeah, man. I'm gonna give you my update right now. I haven't spent much time in Austria, but judging from what I saw, all right, the least favorite of the cities right now is Munich, Germany. All right, Munich, Germany was the least favorite. But it was the first, and I didn't really feel a deep connection with Munich, Germany. Lots of migrants or immigrants, and it wasn't the Germany that I'd expected. I was looking for some Aryans. I was looking for some big ass Helgas. You know what I mean? I was looking for some gigantic Germans. All right, but you got to go out to the rural areas for that. They done moved all the way out there. White flight. You know, white people will get up out of there when it's time when it gets hectic. They'll just invade the cities. So yeah, Munich, Germany is in last right now. Next in the middle right now is Vienna. Vienna's in the middle, and that means Prague. Prague was by far the best. And say it slow. Prague. Prague. All right, Prague. Prague was great. All right, Czech Republic was amazing. All right, I don't know if any European city can top Prague. Maybe Amsterdam. All right, and possibly London. All right, but Prague was amazing. All right, say it slow. Say it slow. All right, say it one more time, but say it slow. Prague. Prague. Capital E. Prague. All right, but anyway, it's crazy. All right. Yeah, man, it was crazy. It was a good time. I had a good time in Prague, and I didn't even do the whole nightlife, but hands got put on hips. All right. Definitely hands got put on hips. And boy, were they spirit animals. They were spirited about putting hands on hips. As a matter of fact, there must be an office meeting across the hall. All right. Across my window. I'm looking right in the window, and it's Kaylee's, two Kaylee's right there with their low cut shirts right across the hall. I'm not going to put the camera on them. But anyway. He said, check out Estonia. Man, I can only go so many places, bro. I'm like Carmen Sandiego. I can only go so many places at so many times. All right, so I'll get to it. I'll get to it. All right, I'll get to some place and they just be like, oh, you went here, go here. Like what? Like I gotta go back home. All right. Anyway, what are we doing here? Let's get to the earlier contributors to today's show. And I'm looking to get off the road, but I have, I think, 3 more days, and I actually had to head back to Munich. All right. And hands gonna get put on hips again when I get to Munich. All right. I'm gonna be tired by the time I get back. All right. Larry C, shout out to you. And it is our brother. It is the Mr. Studio IC says, I met God once and he told me if the privates are smelling a bit funky, then that means it's a bit of extra sauce for the flavor. He says, I don't want to derail your show, but I just had to ask if you would do a poll to find out if that was God or the devil dressed as God. All right. Yeah, God said, be fruitful and multiply. So it was the Lord. But as Arthur Chopin said, the devil's laughter can be heard immediately after copulation. So maybe it's just nature. And he says, and another thing, be nice to the bird-chested ninjas. I'm trying. Damn, shout out to the coach gang. All right, we all growing. We all growing as men. NGN, can you explain why the normies get offended when they find out someone has a positive net worth and isn't flashy, but still goes out rather than be inspired by it, Interesting right there. But these were from the other day, which I don't think I did a stream. Why is it that not one guy that brags or promotes about being a mouthpiece or run game ninja is a multi-millionaire in any legit endeavor, or get girls from wealthy families with trust funds that live in mansions, but only get broke in low class or obese women like Tata Alicia and Crystal Metheny? All right, because we know run game is a broke man's game, and we understand not all men can be rich or wealthy. Yeah, all right, but every now and then you'll get a Chad bro, a bro science bro that'll tell you how he's, how he's packing them in over in Miami. You'll also hear that every now and then too. It is Savvy MF is in the building. And guess what? That is a sponsor, co-sponsor. Shout out to Savvy MF hitting us with the sponsor, co-sponsorship today. Appreciate you. And you said nothing. Shout out to Daniel McGee says YouTube ain't ish without the King of Kings. Workday has been going super slow without the morning show. Shout out to you. No FM song. I won't be able to play it. I don't have my sound effects. All right. Shout out to you. Damn, we got no government name. Since you almost 50, did you imagine or expect that you would live to see guys make millions a year streaming video games, selling and playing cards like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And girls selling feet pictures on the internet? Do you remember your first reactions? No, I remember when they was talking about people making money online. All right. But that was a whole lifetime ago. People that made millions online, and shout out to the people who have actually turned that into a positive endeavor. But girl selling feet pictures. Somebody was just telling me a story about a young woman that, the dark side is litty. I'll save that for locals. The dark side is litty. But yeah, somebody was just telling me a story about that. We got our brother. It is George S. He says, thank you for the daily knowledge. That was 5 minutes ago, so I got it in. Shout out to you. We got Cash App in the building. And who's on the Cash App? It is Stiliano. Says, glad to see that you safe, CGA. Boss up season. Philly in the house. Shout out to everybody in Philly. Shout out to Stiliano in Philly. Preston says, men are afraid to negotiate up front, and that's why they feel finessed. She's running up the bill, and he doesn't know the number. Writing a blank check. Yeah, nothing like writing a blank check that your ass can't cash. Yeah, that's what the finesse looks like, because you're trying to go cheap. You guys remember dating. I mean, I haven't normie dated in a long time, but you remember normie dating, where you would take a girl on a date and you had in your mind how much you were willing to spend for that date. You're like, all right, I'm going to take her here for cheap tacos. And then she goes there and she orders one drink. She orders two drinks and you're getting nervous. She orders a third drink and you're like, oh my God. All right. You're like, I better be getting laid. All right. And guess what happens? Since you didn't negotiate up front, she runs up the tab a little bit. You know what I mean? She takes a little bit liberties with you. And then she gives you the pat on the head. Oh, you're such a good man. All right. And you're like, yeah. Whoa. Hold up for a second. I bought you 3 drinks. I took you out to dinner. Well, if you follow locals, I just posted a post about a woman who is on the spectrum, who on one end is on multiple dating sites. She's on a sugar daddy app, and she's also dates traditionally on a dating app, a regular dating app. When you call traditional dating, it's just nothing but prostitution extended. But she basically is playing both sides of the fence. While she's dating guys that are on the sugar daddy app, she makes arrangements. When she's on the regular dating app, she plays these guys and tries to stretch them out. She basically doesn't guarantee any intimacy. She essentially said that she tries to get as much as she can possible before she engages in intimacy. Even if the person gives them a date, maybe go on vacation with them, maybe they fly them out, still there's no guarantee of intimacy. So it is crazy. It's crazy how people don't realize that that's the case. And people will essentially say, well, those girls over there. And I'm like, no, a lot of girls that are doing this, they play both sides. All right, they got a boyfriend, they got a regular dating app, and they got a sugar daddy app. And depending on how they meet you, that's how they show up. So it's a cold world out there for these young brothers out here that are trying to figure out how to survive and navigate the romantic dating sphere. All right, we got a great show for you guys. We got legacy stuff coming up next. So if you're a guy that wants to have kids, you're like, Coach, I don't want to have kids. All right, Coach, you're not giving me the answer. Coach, I want to have kids. What do I do? Do I hire a robot? Do I get an artificial womb? All right, we're going to clear it up next on Doom and Gloom CGA. Let's get into it. Intro, ring the bell. Doom and Gloom CGA, brought to you by you know what it is, the New World Order is in here, and they're going to give you an update for you legacy ninjas. Shout out to the legacy ninjas out here. You be like, Coach, man, but I want to have kids. What do I do? How do I protect myself? And you want me to come up with step number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But I'm like, roll the dice. I basically tell you, roll the dice, my ninja. All right, so what do we got first up here on Doom and Gloom CGA? It's the only thing, and we're going to talk about it because, I aim to please. All right, let's take a look at this on the screen. What do you see right here on the screen? It says right here, it now costs nearly $400,000 to raise a child in the United States of America. And look at this baby here. All right, the baby looks like a baby from a movie right here. All right, it costs $400,000 to raise a child in the United States of America. According to this particular post, it says, how much does it really cost to raise a child in the year 2025? Try $389,000 just to raise one kid until the age of 18. In some U.S. states, it's closer to $440,000. We're getting to almost $500,000. And it says, here's what's driving up the cost. Well, let's go ahead and see what's driving off the cost. It says right here, 29% of child rearing goes to housing, the largest single expense. In high cost states like Hawaii and California, just adding a kid can spike housing costs by over $5,000 a year. So housing is going to be your number one expense. And you're going to say, well, I was going to pay for housing anyway. Well, if you didn't have kids, you could pay for a flat, you could pay for an apartment, you could pay for a townhouse. But when you have multiple children, now you need multiple rooms. You know, the good old days of raising your kids, and having 5 kids sleep on one twin mattress in the middle of Gary, Indiana, all right, and they become musical sensations are gone. All right, it's not great for their mental health. All right, and it says right here, it says food, 18% of those expenses goes to food. And of course, childcare, because both of the parents are working, and God forbid you get a divorce and now you have split custody, you have co-parenting. But childcare, I mean, you're going to probably need childcare for your kid all the way up until about age 8, 9, or 10. And still in some areas, if you leave your kid at home, people were like, you left your 8-year-old kid at home alone. All right. For us Gen Xers, latchkey kid ass niggies. All right. We were left at home all the time, but the days have changed where you can leave your kid at home. In fact, you can look it up. Some parents have been arrested for leaving their kids at home. And these kids were 10, 11, 12 years old, and they were arrested for leaving their kids at home and going out to dinner. All right. So, yes, you're going to need childcare of a variety of issues, especially during the summer camps. All right. Summer comes around and the kids are out of school. What do you do with them? Okay. You really can't leave them at home all day, especially if it's one kid. So what do you do? How do you take care of that? You might have to hire a babysitter. All right. So you might have to hire a nanny, or you might have to sign them up for summer camp. I mean, summer camp was a big money maker because we knew the parents are going to have to put them kids somewhere. All right. You're serving at pseudo daycare. You're going to have to put them somewhere. All right. You got transportation costs. Hopefully you guys can see this. All right. Transportation. You know what I mean? Shuttling these boogers around. You know what I mean? Shuttling them around, getting them to their field hockey game, getting them to their, basketball AAU, their summer camp, getting them to their babysitter, getting them to their Kumon, right? This is going to be a lot of, this is an expense that you don't realize. And a lot of parents, we're going to get to the people who don't think that this is true. All right. Cause there's some parents that don't think this is true. Like, it ain't never cost me $400,000 and I have 5 kids. All right. We're going to talk about why that is. All right. But yeah, getting them to their events, their extracurricular activities, the things that they're interested in, getting them over to play dates. Okay, you got to get them back and forth to school. All right, back and forth to school if they ain't riding the bus. Yeah, man. All right, you got the it says right here, transportation eats up 15%, and it says where you live makes a huge difference. Obviously, $36K a year to raise a kid in Massachusetts versus $14K in Mississippi. $14K in Mississippi, and that's just for that 49% related to food and childcare in that. And it says how parents are surviving. But coach, I want to have kids. It says budgeting around state costs, using dependent care FSAs, and shopping secondhand and bulk groceries. Of course, going to Costco and feeding them junk food, meal planning to save hundreds monthly, and saving early for kids, colleges, and emergencies expenses. We know most people ain't doing that. Even people that are well off aren't saving for their kids' colleges. In fact, they're like, you don't even have to go to college, ass kids. All right, your kids go graduate from school. Just go to community college, ass nigga. But yeah, I mean, this is an alternative. Now, for people who don't realize, this is overwhelmingly true. And you got to remember, number one, it's an average. All right, you're taking an average of what parents spend in certain locations and what they spend in certain locations. Now, some parents go above and beyond this, which is there's an important issue to note here, that some parents realize how successful their kid is going to be is based on how many options they expose them to. So if you were a parent and you say it didn't really cost me that much to raise my kids, but you didn't expose them to anything, right? You didn't sign them up for taekwondo, karate, judo. You didn't sign them up for certain events and ballet when they were 4 and 2, right? You didn't do that. You didn't put them in a great summer camp. You didn't put them in science camp, coding camp. You didn't do all of that. Yeah, your expenses to raise your kid are going to be significantly lower, right? But some parents go above and beyond. There's some parents that they pay that probably the first 5 years of their Montessori, all right, or at least their first 5 years of their primary private school tuition is that much. Okay, is that much. And before they even get to high school, they've already paid $400,000 just in private school tuition for multiple kids. Okay, so this is the situation where most parents are like, it doesn't cost that much. Well, certainly it does for some people, and some people escape this reality, and hope if they named them the coldest that they're going to be a D1 prospect and possibly go to the NFL and get an NIL deal. Now, here's the other thing that they mentioned here. Some parents don't realize the expense of raising children because they're on welfare or they're on some sort of social benefits. So they raise multiple kids on social benefits, right? If they looked at their income and said, I only made $40,000 a year over the time my kids were young. Well, did you use any social benefits? Did you use any free lunch passes? Did you use any free bus passes? Did you use any free childcare that was based on income disparities or dependencies, like you had a low income, but you were able to get free childcare? Well, those are going to dramatically reduce the cost that you needed to invest in your kids. You didn't have to come out of pocket. You didn't have to come out of pocket. You got Medicaid, you got free dental, you got free everything. You got free benefits. All right. And not only that, you didn't even raise the damn kids. All right. The streets raised them damn kids. So half of them probably got skitty pop anyway. So that's where you don't realize, because you're like, dude, how can somebody in New Orleans that lives in a shotgun house in the 8th ward, all right, how in the hell are they got $400,000 to raise a kid? They don't. All right. The daddy government pays for them. All right. So daddy government paid you for you and your mama. That's why you got free lunch or 15-cent lunch. You got free breakfast at your school. You got free bus passes. All right. Your parents freed your way all the way to basically cheap expenses. All right. So not everybody's going to pay out of pocket $400,000, but it certainly was paid by somebody, possibly the taxpayer. So if somebody paid $400,000, all right, you didn't pay $400,000. And if they went to the jail, well, that's how your kids paying it back. That's how your kids paying it back. Yeah, you threw your kids in public school from what is it, K4? All right, pre-K, from 4 years old all the way to 18. You put your kids in public school. All right, so you obviously didn't pay. That doesn't mean there wasn't a cost. Inadvertently, you signed them up for propaganda, right? And you don't even know who your kids are after sending them to public school. So you certainly excuse yourself from this responsibility. Now, if you're a young man listening to you, but coach, I would have kids. Niggy. All right, you legacy guys. Let's do the math, niggy. Let's do the math. All right, $400,000 to raise a kid. All right, that's just one kid. What about two of these crumb snatchers? All right, what about two of these crumb snatchers? All right, so my man said braces $4K a year. I put braces on both of my kids. All right, 4K. All right, right out of pocket. All right, right out of pocket. It covered up, insurance covered a little bit of it, but you had to come up with the rest. So a lot of you parents didn't put braces on your kids' teeth, and your kids looking like the open gate defense. All right, it's looking like the crooked gate, the wicked gate. So yeah, you didn't put braces on your kid's face. And your kids walking around with a gap between their tooth right now. All right. Right. So you didn't make any sacrifice. You didn't make any sacrifice to go into your pocket to help further your kids' ability to be better kids. All right. So at that particular point, what the hell? You're like, it didn't cost me that much. Well, nigga, you didn't do anything. You did the bare minimum, and not even that. Not even that. So anyway, for those who want to know, man, kids ain't free. Relationships aren't free. Women aren't free. Love ain't free. And sex ain't free. Guys, all men pay. And everything has a cost to it. Just deal with it. If you ain't ready to pay, sit your monkey ass down. All right. Sit your monkey ass down. But coach, I want to pass on my legacy. And you got a Velcro wallet. All right. If you ain't ready to pay, you ain't ready to play. That is Doom and Gloom CGA. Sit your punk ass down.
Like, ride with me, if you ride with me, you can slide with me.
Just so we know, that doesn't even count when they're an emerging adult. All right. So shout out to you guys out there. You know, the emerging adult, when they graduate from college and you gave them no option. Oh, sorry, high school. They graduate from high school from 17 on, you know what I mean? And they still living with you. Oh, it doesn't count that either. Oh, it doesn't count when you pay their tuition for college either. It doesn't count. That $400,000 doesn't count college tuition. All right. We're just getting them through high school. So if you ain't ready to bite the bullet and you a puss ass parent, please stop having kids out here. Please stop having kids. That's my for sure. All right. Anyway, let me check up on the PayPal and see what's going on the pay pizzle. For shizzle, my nizzle. All right, we got no government name that's over here. He says, do you believe the saying hurt people He says right here, or is it just something that people tell themselves to cope with life not being easy as they believe it should be and feel entitled to? I do believe hurt people do hurt people. All right. But I also believe that people call people hurt when in fact they've been woken up, right? They woke up to the reality that life is cruel. So once they realize life is cruel, and they're no longer willing to be manipulated by, well, just give it another chance and just trust people. And you never know, it'll get better. And they're not willing to live by that. They're like, nah, I'm going to protect myself, fam. All right. What happens is then they'll call that person hurt, which I don't think they're hurt. I don't think that's the appropriate word to call them hurt. I don't think that's the appropriate word. There's a better word that you can use for them. They're more realistic. They don't live in a fantasy bubble. All right, they're protecting themselves. Another flatback supreme out here. All right, they showing up out here. Pearl LeGrand says, 23-year-old coach gang member. I'm taking my first domestic flight for business side quest, going to the AEW wrestling show. I also paid extra for the TSA pre-check membership. I'm going to Texas. So baby, no dark side too much. You got an STI. What? No dark side, too much STI. Over in Texas. Okay, please, I gotta crawl before I walk. Hashtag boss up or bow out. And he said that's 2025. Shout out to you, man. Enjoy your stream. What's going on? All right. He don't have an STI, but I think he's saying he's going to Texas. There's too many STIs. All right, maybe in Houston. He don't want no parts of that. But congratulations, man. You're moving on up. You don't got to get it all at once. You ain't got to get it all at once. All right, you got to get it all at once. Get a little bit of boss up here and there. All right, a little bit of boss up here and there. It looks like I only got one antenna on my Wi-Fi. One antenna on my Wi-Fi. Are we good? All right, let me see here. All right, I think we're good. All right, somebody's in here saying kick somebody out of there. All right, I don't see him. All right, Maryland guy says, have a great time there, coach. I bet it's a different world there compared to the US with the lack of fat women, all right, or high caloric women. Yes, there are some chubbies out here, but dude, there are some tiny waist women out here. All right, they got that old white girl build out here, man. You know what I mean? They just tiny waisted, little Cinnabons. They got the little buns. White girls don't be having booty. They got buns. All right, they got the buns out. You know what I mean? Not overly developed. There are some here and there, but there is definitely a certain build around here. Flat tummies. White girls got tummies. They ain't got stomachs. All right. They don't have the stomach. All right. But, when you go back to America, you realize how high caloric people are. I mean, you got waist. You can just wrap your arm around type shit. I used to tell people that, brothers, you need to be with a woman you can wrap your whole arm around her waist. Y'all too busy dating fupas. Y'all got too many fupas out here. All right. Date some women where you can just pick them up like this with one arm and feel like a man. All right. But y'all be dating these wildebeests out here. You know what I mean? Like y'all be dating these wildebeests. You know what I mean? They just be hot and sweaty. They boob plap right on their stomach. All right. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, get you some tiny waist women. You know what I mean? Y'all be out here with these. All right. I ain't going to talk about it, but it's okay. But in America, whew, it ain't no joke, man. It ain't no joke. People out of shape. And the thing is, people are big in America, but they're out of shape. Like we have an obesity issue. And if you're not traveling, I'm telling you, man, traveling is the cheat code. That's why I talked about it in my book, The Free Agent Lifestyle. I know people are like, coach, the free agent lifestyle turns into passport bros, I guess. No. The free agent lifestyle preceded the popularity of the passport bros. We broke it down. All right. But yeah, man, you got to get out and travel. It's going to change your perspective. It's going to make you less ignorant. And it's also going to make you realize that the issues that you think about all the time in the United States, it really doesn't exist when you go outside of the United States. Doesn't exist anymore. Not that the people here don't have issues. There's issues everywhere. But these little issues y'all be thinking about, arguing about, it don't mean anything here. All right. Not to disqualify it, but yeah. All right. There's some haters in the chat. What y'all doing here? Why they hating on me? What did I do? What did I do to y'all? I'm just having a party. I'm just having a party. All right. I'm just enjoying life. You know what I mean? What did I do? All right. I left. I'm in Europe. I'm out here in the land of the flatbacks. What are we doing? It's like, What did I do to anybody? I'm just living my life. Are the incels upset? Are they sniping them? I'm just hold on for a second. But what's going on, man? Like, I'm doing well. You know what I mean? Like, you know, hold up. I got water in a bottle, nigga. You know what I mean? I got still water in a bottle, you know? Just who's mad that I'm talking to women on my show now? You know, like what? I'm showing you that I ain't an incel. Like, what are we doing? What's up? I got a fridge, you know what I mean? I had a suite when I was over in Munich, folding up Aryan girls. What are we doing? Like, what are you mad at? Like, look, man, I've been doing this too long, bro. I ain't got no time to be mad no more. Okay. Look, I told you guys, I'm not going to live this miserable life that y'all want to live. I'm over here, what? How many thousand miles away? 6,500 miles away from the United States of America, and you hating ass niggies? Like, what? I'm folding up the flattest flatback models over here. I'm folding up models, you know what I mean? Like, just be like, all right, here, come here. All right, let me sneak you in. All right, next. But, you know, they want me to be just a miserable guy in the corner, you know what I mean, in a dark room, rocking back and forth. There's an 80-20 rule. Men can't get any relationships because women are picking off the top. Like, what are we doing? I'm not going to walk this miserable walk with you, man. I can't even. I told y'all how to do these niggies. I told you how to do this, bro. I've been giving you the blueprint for years, nigga. If y'all still mad, but you're out here buying box, you have to buy it. This bed's going to get used by some model's going to be folded up on this bed tonight. I don't know what to tell you. You can do it. You cannot do it, nigga. Well, men shouldn't have to be better. They keep telling us to man up. They keep telling us to man up, coach, and we shouldn't have to man up. We should be issued a fat wife from Topeka, Kansas. All right, what do you want me to do, bro? I'm just living me. You just doing me, bro. Hold on for a second. Let me fucking brag on these niggas. My computer's gonna fucking conk out before we get here. Should I brag on these niggas? I ain't got no time. I'm in Vienna, Austria. I don't know what the fuck's going on with the haters. I don't see them, but I don't know. I ain't got time to see haters no more. Like, what you hating on? Me living life? Like, what the fuck? All right, anyway, go live your life, man. Go live your life. Niggas stuck in Tupelo, Mississippi, man. I hate this nigga coach. I hate this nigga coach, man. He fuck that nigga. All right, this nigga, man, he's just a piece of shit. All right, and he got to pay because he don't know how to get no fat bitches in Tupelo like I can get them. I don't know what to tell you, bro. I don't know what to fucking tell you, man. All right, I ain't gonna sit here and wait for you motherfuckers to figure it out. I done gave you the blueprint. What the haters mad at now? All right, I'm trying to figure out what they mad at. I don't even know. I'm not paying attention to them. Fuck this nigga, coach. All right, he said the red pill's dead, but I still watch Red Pill every day. And Red Pill's gonna take over. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not going to take over, nigga. Nobody's going to help you get pussy. 80-20 rule. We need to fix it. Where's that one guy? Not Jordan Peterson. What's that one guy? He's the NWO version of Jordan Peterson. I can't remember his name. Anyway, Scott Galloway. 80% of men are not getting dates. So, nigga, I told you what to do. It ain't like I didn't tell you what to do, Scott Galloway. Do you realize that 80% of men are not getting dates? What are we going to do? They're going to be an incel revolution. So what? I don't give a fuck. Who they going to revolt? What they going to have a revolution at with they recessed chin and they bird chests? All right. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Nobody feels bad that you can't get pussy. Nobody feels bad that you can't get pussy. You can go get you some, but you want to work for it. You want some not moral pussy. What do you want to call it? You want some ethical pussy. You want some pussy like you. I earned it. She gave it to me. She lied on her back and she gave it to me out of the spirit of it. I can't even think of the word. All right. Anyway. All right. Anyway. Hey, it is what it is. Oh, by the way, And men who are getting punani, let me tell you, they ain't fixing to stop to let you get some. They ain't gonna stop and let you get some neither. All right, they're not. All right, anyway, let me move on. All right, they're gonna stop, guys. 80% of men are not getting any. So the 20% of men, what can you do to help? Nothing. The 20% of men that are getting it, they ain't gonna help you. They not fixing to help you get no punani. All right, just to let you know, brothers. All right. Maybe they should help us. Maybe they could do something, and maybe no, they're gonna help them. They're gonna help put some money in their pocket, selling you a course. All right, but anyway, boss the fuck up, you punk ass niggas. All right, anyway, by the way, I swear, man, men ain't going nowhere positive at this point. All right, but anyway, look, let me share this on the screen just so y'all can see. Oh, by the way, haters, I got something for you if you really want to hate. All right, what's going on here? All right, just living a life. All right, look at your boy out here. Oh shit. All right, I got some bills to pay. All right, look at him. Look at him. Czech Republic with the flatbacks out here. Look at him, boy. He living the dream out here. Look at him. All right, will we even get to the main event? All right, if you don't follow me on Instagram and Snapchat, what are you doing? The link is in the description box. All right, if you're not following me, dude, look, we have flatbacks trying to take pictures of me, bro. All right, I was walking down the street and it was like, can I take a picture with you? Let me show you what happened. All right. Oh, you can't hear it? You can't hear it. All right. So look, they like, yo, can we take a picture? All right. They want to take a picture of me. Hold on, audio. The audio's not there. All right. I had a couple times. They just want, oh, here's another one right here. This is a Bucharest girl. She was like, are you gonna video me? All right. Look at the tatas on her. Bodacious. Yeah, merit peace leave. That's what it was. Bodacious. I know there's no audio on this one. All right. Bodacious tatas. All right. It was like that over there. Look, we had another one up here. We had another one. You don't hear the audio, but we had another one up there. Boy, they was just wanting to put hands on hips. You know what I mean? They was just wanting to talk to her brother. All right. They was like, let me talk to you. Come and talk to me. I really want to meet you. Can I talk to you? All right. They want to talk to me, man. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Instagram stories. I'll be posting my shit over there, bro. Follow me on Snapchat. All right. Follow me on Snapchat. All right. It's heavy over here, man. We heavy in the game. All right. We heavy in the game. All right. So what do we got over here? What else is over here? All right. We have some African sisters over there. Look, they was out in here, coach, smiling at a nigga. All right. Smiling at a nigga, man. It's all good, man. I know. Look, what do I have to worry about a hater for? All right. Look, what do I have to worry about a hater? Like, bro, like my life is good. Life is grand. All right, but it's a life that I made for myself. I had to literally carve this life out. I had to carve this life out. I had to build this shit brick by brick. I had to take all the sacrifices and the risks. All right, fuck you, niggas. If y'all don't want to do it, fuck you. All right, go get it, bro. Go get that shit. All right, but y'all don't want to do it. Y'all want some merit pussy ass nigga. Uh-oh, y'all want to. Okay, hold on for a second. I'm doing too much. All right, I'm doing too. Let me stop. Let me stop. This is getting too much for the 80-20 rule ass niggas. Well, coach, you got lucky ass nigga, and you paid ass nigga. All right, this is crazy. I wouldn't have to if you didn't do it. All right, I ain't even do it because you didn't do it, and I made me do it, and then because you did it, they won't do it for me ass niggas. You know what I mean? It just, I know it's too. Let me stop. Let me stop. All right, let me stop. It's just too much for these niggas, man. They still want to make excuses and shit. They just trying to make excuses. Is all right. Anyway, all right. Follow me on the internet. Let's get back to the show here. Let me see here. It is Stragglers Niggle. All right. I don't even know if I have enough laptop battery, but let's go.
Hey, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me. That's a deal, right?
Straggle and Sniggle Theater. Let's do it. Okay, look what do we got going on here? Straggle and Sniggle. Oh my goodness, we definitely got an American woman here. American woman, just let me be. All right, we got an American woman here who says this is how she snuggles or smuggles things inside the club. All right, so here we go right here, an American woman.
What are you gonna do when I can't do this for you? What are you gonna do? Oh, wait. No, it's not, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Pay for drinks? Where?
Oh.
$17 a shot?
Oh.
Are you crazy?
Elephant noise.
Oh, we have rent. Sorry.
Elephant.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness, another one. Belugas, right? Baby beluga in the deep. I tell you, man, being in Europe, you don't see this too much, right? You don't see this too much in Europe. All right. There are some overweight women out here, but there's not this many. I mean, goodness gracious. Oh, the humanity. All right. And she out there putting all kind of drinks in her fupa. All right. Do you see what's going on, man? You see why the United States
Sorry, not sorry.
look at trash. All right. Mud shark for sure. Mud shark confirmed. All right. You know, this woman has been donated a lot of sperm from niggies. All right. This is a niggy bust down. All right. 100%. This is only niggies only. And you can tell because she got a black friend. All right. Anytime you see a mud shark and she got a black friend, you know for sure she a mud shark. You know she a niggy bust down. And she the easiest bust down, right? Because even the niggies will go for the white girl. All right. They won't even go for the sister. All right. The niggy bust down. Because this girl act like she's hardcore, but she really soft as a grape. You know what I mean? She's soft. And she can't help but let the niggies bust down. She a skeet machine. All right. But anyway, that's just so you see what this woman's doing here. She's in her tights, those stretch pants, all right, with drinks in her fupa. Ugh. All right, goodness gracious. Look at that. Look at that gun. Oh my goodness. Some nigga out there about to go get some bottle of lotion for this. You guys are atrocious human beings. All right, anyway, let's see here. Straggle Sniggle Theater. We have a video of a person who allegedly bailed out a working girl. All right, he bailed out a working girl. So let's see how this worked out for him. I don't know what's going on. All right, my internet froze up. Okay, so here we go. We're back. He bails out a working girl. Right? You ever see these guys? They'll bail out people from jail allegedly.
Okay, why?
Nah, this is what we do. We have a YouTube channel. We just bail strangers out of the jail.
So you don't need nothing from me?
What you mean? What you was in there for?
Prostitution and assault.
Prostitution and assault? Oh, she's fresh out of jail. She just got home today, so I'm taking out a little shopping spree. She had whatever she wants.
Yeah, whatever I wanted. So I'm gonna do this, and I think some lipstick. Okay, period. And I definitely need an eyebrow pencil because I definitely need to do my eyebrow, like for sure. This should be good enough.
What the fuck? $40 for makeup? It's light though. It's not too crazy. All right. Thank you so much. You got 10 minutes. Do your makeup. I think the viewers fall in love with you. I'm gonna catch up with you when you back.
Hi, Daddy. I'm ready for my attention.
You look good for the viewers. You look good. You look good.
Popping ass when I get home.
Oh, you got another client?
No, you coming with me.
What you mean?
You're coming with me.
Coming where?
To my house.
I'm not coming home. I'm not going nowhere with you. Hold on. Relax. Why you getting aggressive?
Coming with me.
Can you stop being so aggressive? Can you back up? We bailed you out of jail. We did you a favor. That's it. We going home now. We're not on the top of time. Sorry. Thank you. Get off me. Get the fuck off me, bro. Are you crazy?
You're coming home with me.
I'm not going nowhere with you. We bailed you out.
Okay.
All right. So there go the woman right here, allegedly being bailed out, and she looks raggedy. All right. I don't know if this is true. I can't tell if this is true or a skit. All right. I'm not sure, but I don't think she was planning on going home anytime soon. But she was out there for what? She got assault and selling punani. All right. On the street corner, obviously. And you can tell she's very clingy. She's about to get another assault charge out there. So somebody protect these young children out here. Protect it. All right. Protect them. Straggle and Sniggle Theater presses on. We have a woman with some dating advice. So you know it's going to go left. All right. You know it's going to go left. It ain't going to go right. Woman giving some great dating advice. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Oh, there it is right there on my screen. Let's go. There's the woman. All right. There's the woman there. You see her. Bodacious. All right. Let's see what she got.
Doesn't fall in love with what you do for him. It actually makes him take you for granted more.
Yeah.
A man falls in love when he's inspired by you, when he's literally inspired to get his stuff right, stuff right, because you hold yourself as such a standard. You have such boundaries that for him it's like, I can't F up.
Yep.
She gonna leave.
Yep.
I can't F up. So it makes him step up his A game. A man doesn't fall in love with what you do for him. It actually makes him take you for granted more.
Yeah.
All right, man, dude. I wish I had sound effects, man. Cricket sound effects. A serious what? A man doesn't fall in love with what you do for him. It makes him take you for granted. All right. Yeah, this woman is full of nonsense. All right, full of nonsense. Look at her. How she trying to convince herself and convince you. How old is she? She can't be over than 26. What the hell does she know? What the hell does she know? I'm pretty sure she's single. All right. What happened to her? Tell us how men work.
A man falls in love when he's inspired by you.
You know, you know what? I'm telling you, man, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Listen, I get what she's saying. All right. Because, you know, the other guy says he doesn't pay, he invests. All right. But a man falls in love when he's inspired by you. No, that would be the opposite of what men do, because men want to lead. Men typically want to lead. And this is what a woman wants a man to do. So how is he inspired by you? He's inspired to lead, or is that what he naturally does? All right. Now, here's the other part about it right here. She's trying to say this, but at the same time, the majority of the relationships that you see that are failing are not guys that are just failing on the purpose of a woman that's not inspired. All right. The woman is actually talking hate into the guy's life. All right. Talking hate, sleeping with the enemy. All right. So talking him down. And that's how the relationship even starts. The woman's talking him down. So it's not an inspiration thing where he falls in love. He falls in love because he doesn't have any sort of inspiration. He doesn't have any inspiration at all. Right? His only inspiration is to try to hold on to this woman as long as he can for as cheap as he can and hope that that woman has some sort of loyalty. That's not inspiration at all. That's not inspiration at all. But anyway, all right, this is sad to hear her be so convinced what she's talking about to be credible here, but it's actually incredible.
When he's literally inspired to get his stuff right.
Get his stuff together. Guys, listen, you guys have to stop living through women. All right. I love when that woman said that, because I'm going to use that. Stop living through women. A woman should not inspire you to go get a bank account. A woman should not inspire you to do homework, like to get your shit together. You should be, if this is you, and you're like, oh, yeah, my woman inspired me to start studying and graduate from college. Well, you're an idiot. Like, if it took a woman to make you realize that you had to get your priorities straight, something was wrong with you to begin with. Like, something was wrong with you, bro. You were headed nowhere. You should not be living through women that bad. All right. Like, I never had a bank account until my girlfriend told me to have a bank account. Like, really? Like, bro, the bar is low. Like, you a super duper loser. You were just going to what? Drift all the way up until some woman says, you know, you better be to get a bank account. How about some car insurance too? All right. How about some car insurance? Like, this is crazy. But of course, these type of women are going for that type of guys who don't have that. Right. And that she wants to jump in there and fix a nigga, build a bear a nigga. All right. She wants the guy like that. But of course, he's going to be 6'3" and handsome and have dreadlocks and wigs. All right. And she's going to be like, I'm going to make you better. I'm going to make you a better man. I'm going to inspire you to be a better man. Right. All right. Anyway, that's crazy, bro. All right. Anyway. All right. You might inspire me to go to school. All right. But that about it. All right. We got this woman out here. American women. American woman. I'm not dissing American women, y'all, by the way. All right. American woman says this about weight loss. Again, okay, here we go right here. Let's hear this.
I'm not listening to a man. I'm so sorry.
If you was in a long-term relationship with a man, would you want him to take full control over the health and wellness in that relationship?
No.
No?
Why is he telling me what to do?
What if he knows a lot more about fitness and health?
He doesn't.
No?
I'm not listening to a man. I'm so sorry.
Why not?
Because why is he not listening to me?
Let's just say if you was in a relationship with me and I wanted to get you in better fitness, would you listen to me?
How much money does your company make a year? Like, I think that's the question. Like, if I'm listening to you, like, the paycheck needs to match the advice you're giving me. So, like, a Fortune 500 company, okay, I'll listen because I'm getting paid to listen at that point.
Okay, so what if you had type 2 diabetes and I wanted to help you reverse that? Would you listen to me then?
Well, you can't reverse type 2 diabetes, unfortunately.
Why do you say that?
Well, you can ease the symptoms with lifestyle changes, but like you can't really get rid of it 100%. We don't even really know what causes diabetes, medically speaking.
Most of type 2 diabetes come from being overweight to obese and having an excess of
if you're trying, so you're trying to get your woman in shape, but like where are those standards coming from?
Those standards are coming from the man having higher standards and health and wellness than you do. So if he's able,
with that man, I'm so sorry.
If he's able to communicate that to you, he can improve your health and wellness and for you to live a longer, healthier lifestyle.
I'm not listening to man. I'm so sorry.
And as you can see, elephant noise. And look at this hair. This one was a wreck. I mean, obviously she has penis envy. She's a feminist, and she's mostly dealing with low-hanging fruit in terms of men. So she's not getting quality men, and probably never will with this attitude, and certainly not with the looks. And I don't want to hear about. She tried to even throw in beauty standards. You hear that? She tried to go in there with beauty standards. So, well, the Caucasian beauty standards don't fit me. All right. Well, I mean, ma'am, everything you're saying is wrong. He even started off on fitness, and she jumps to Fortune 500. She's talking about her little career. That's all she's doing. She's like, well, I make money at my career. Nobody cares. All right, but this is the type of person that has extreme entitlement in the dating marketplace that really screws it up for most people. It looks like I got to rush through this particular show because we got a lot going on here. All right, we got Straggle Single Theater. Speaking of, we got somebody's auntie or granny out here who's hot in the pants. We got Warm Embrace, a granny that wants to get in on these YNs.
T, what you talking about? What you talking about, T?
Do you sell it?
Sell what, Auntie? Sell what, Auntie?
Yeah.
Yeah. For you, how much you willing to pay, Auntie?
I give my whole SSI check.
Yeah, hit my DM, Auntie. I don't think your knees ready for this. Yeah, yeah, ready for me though, Auntie.
I got a knee replacement. I'm good.
Yeah.
So you've been celibate for about what, 20 years?
Mm-hmm.
How you get your rocks off?
I'm getting them off now. I'm live with you.
What you doing? Wait a minute. What you got going, Auntie?
Come on, man. On here, I'm sorry, baby.
That's what that water sound was.
Mm-hmm. Like this to get over here.
Auntie, listen here.
And these YNs gonna smash that auntie out there. And that definitely looked like a lady at that go to your church. Look at that sweet lady. That's definitely looked like some of y'all church ladies out there fondling herself for these YNs on her off time because Bible study was canceled tonight. Right? Bible study was canceled tonight. And she up there with her Jerry curl talking that ish. All right, man. Somebody come get their granny panty ass Annie. All right, this is a disgrace. And these YNs, you know they're going to be doing a run in the tag team on that fat old nat. Ooh, and it probably smell like her breath. All right, but YNs would run a tag team on it, and they would get, my girl pays me, ass niggas. That's Draggle and Sniggy Theater.
Hey, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right?
Let's get right into it. Crime and Law CGA. We got to matriculate this show down the field. We don't got much time to waste here. We got Crime and Law CGA, an update on the Wander Franco situation. For those people who don't remember, about a year or two ago, Wander Franco, a Major League Baseball player, was caught having a relationship with a minor. All right. Now, this is not the woman on the A minor, but this is the woman that he eventually married, and they knew each other for many, many years. But as you can see, some like it hot. Some like it hot. Some like them young, too. All right. And in the Dominican Republic, if you've never been there, this is a very common thing. All right. Unfortunately, it's a very common thing. And the young Dominican women get it in early, bro. They be getting it in early, boy. If they hit 16 and they ain't had one pregnancy. All right. But anyway, that's another story. But Wander Franco is basically was in trouble for having a relationship with a minor. But the relationship was pretty much funded by the family. Now, there's a very complicated situation here of the details that I'm going to talk about here. Wander Franco was a young Major League Baseball prospect who essentially lost his career. His career is pretty much over. He won't be able to play in the Major League Baseball. And he had just signed a major contract. But let me just give you some of the information here. It says everything fell apart for Wander Franco, the incandescent star shortstop for the Tampa Bay Rays. The prosecutors in the Dominican Republic allegedly alleged that he opened WhatsApp on his phone and sent messages to a teenage girl with whom he had carrying on a months-long relationship and paid to remain quiet about it. Yes, he paid. He says, my girl, Franco allegedly wrote in Espanol, if my team realizes this, it could cause problems for me. It is a rule for all teams that we cannot talk to minors. And yet I took the risk and I loved it. After a 6-month investigation, Franco was arrested on New Year's Day for not appearing in court to answer a summons from a government child welfare unit in his native Dominican Republic. Prosecutors later accused him of having relationships sexually with a 14-year-old girl when he was 21 years old and presented charges of commercial sexual exploitation and money laundering. He could face up to 20 years in prison and is reckoning with the possibility of his Major League Baseball career coming to an end at 22. Here's the details. The girl, who is now 15 years old, met Franco online, according to prosecutors. Additionally, according to the documents, he took her from her home in Puerto Plata. Shout out to Sosúa in Puerto Plata and Cavite on the northern coast of the Dominican Republic on December 9th, 2022 for 2 days. During that time, they had sex twice, prosecutors said, and started a relationship that lasted 4 months. A cousin who grew up with the girl's mother told the authorities that Franco was in the helicopter to Medellano, a town near Puerto Plata, to pick up the girl and bring her to see him. Other times, she said, Franco's driver would ferry the girl from Puerto Plata to Franco's hometown of Bani, which is a 3.5-hour car ride. And I'm pretty sure there's some people that are on motos scooting by you with a pregnant woman on the back. One time, the cousin said the mother herself paid a taxi driver 16,000 Dominican pesos, which is equivalent of $275, so that the girl could meet with Franco. Okay, so as you can see here, the mother found out about the relationship, and what happened was the mother started selling off the daughter. I mean, that's basically what happened here. Now, I'm not going to get too graphic in it, but you will find that this type of thing used to go down. It used to happen like this. So the mother found out, oh, you're dating this millionaire guy. He got money. Go with him. All right, go with him. And the mother was helping. And then the mother started asking for stuff. And essentially, that's when the situation went left. Once the family members started knowing that there was money out there, they started essentially, more or less extorting him. All right, saying that, hey, you're going to have to pay up for us to keep this quiet. And they agreed to keep it quiet. But at some particular point, he got a little too clingy with the girl. All right, he was restricting her movement. He was saying that she can't do this. She can't go to the prom, the homecoming dance. She can't hang out with the YNs. All right, the Kalo Ks out there. She can't hang out with the Kalo Ks out there. So he started trying to pull rank on her and saying, you can't hang out with these young boys. You're mine. You belong to me. All right, and she was like, I want no part of that. I want no part of that. I want to be in these streets. I want to be in these Dominican streets, in the Puerto Plata, the Sosúa streets. She want to be out here having sex with tourists. I say it's alleged. So the mother was saying, the mother was totally fine with the relationship. But of course, in the United States, yeah, this is a no-go zone. All right, this is not what you want to do, especially if you're a Major League Baseball, if you're a star. So what happened was this situation ended up just recently. We now have the verdict. They said he was facing 20 years. How much time do you think he got? Well, according to this news article, Wander Franco found guilty of SA in the Dominican Republic. By the way, I'm telling you, a lot of people probably do this already. But this is breaking news. Rays shortstop. I guess, is he still on the Rays? He's on some little roster where he can't play, though. All right, Wander Franco was found guilty on Thursday of SAing a minor in the Dominican Republic and received a suspended 2-year sentence. In order to avoid serving prison time, Franco will reportedly have to meet several conditions set by a judge, including not approaching minors with sexual intention. The decision can be appealed to 2 higher courts. Franco, who has not played for the Devil Rays or the Rays since August 12, 2023, a day before social media posts surfaced alleging that he was involved romantically in a relationship with a 14-year-old girl that started in December 2022 when he was 21 years old. But he was then placed on administrative leave for the rest of the season. And again, to start the 2024 season, he was formally charged in the Dominican Republic in July 2023 and so forth and so on. He's been put on a restricted list and all of that. So there you see it right there. The prosecutors in the Dominican filed the charges, and that was last year. They went to a trial and it was scheduled for December before being delayed until this month. Prosecutors have been seeking a 5-year prison sentence for Franco and 10-year sentence against the minor's mother, who was found guilty on Thursday. Okay, so there you go right there. Interesting, right? So the minor's mother was facing 10 years for selling her daughter's punani to a Major League Baseball player. Yeah, the mother was about to get sent up the river. All right, goodness gracious. All right, man, yes. And he had a $160 million guaranteed Major League Baseball contract. Like, he was going to get all that money. But the mother got 10 years, or she was about to get 10 years, and he was fixing to get 5. So the mom was about to get it. Hey, you about to sell your daughter? You putting your daughter out there? Come on, man. You made child welfare protective services. But this is not uncommon of people who live in impoverished areas. This happens in the United States too. All right, this happens in the United States. So that was a great little update about that. Oh, man. And he ain't going to jail. Apparently, we have an NBA player that's having a problem with white women. All right, black women are going crazy about this post. Well, he looked like a half-breed anyway. Shout out to the tragic mulattoes. Dylan Brooks files a restraining order against his baby mama, claiming she threatened to cut off his fingers so he can never play basketball again. Dylan Brooks, all right, shout out to the University of Oregon, Skull Ducks. Dylan Brooks is definitely one of the most hated basketball players in the league, all right? He definitely had, he's a defensive player. He's somewhat of a pestering gnat on the court. And, I can't remember if it was LeBron or one of the major players. He was going after him. Dylan Brooks was going after him, and he's a nuisance. Somebody called him Dylan the Villain. All right, he's a nuisance on the court, and he's carved himself out to be a defensive nuisance, and he's found some roles on many, many teams. All right, but as you can see, he's definitely a light-skinned, light bright, almost white. He probably a mulatto too. All right, he a mulatto too. So I don't know why y'all saying he should date a black woman. His mama probably white. But you can see there's a white woman here. Her name is Heather Andrews. A little too close for comfort for me. All right, but that's neither here nor there. Dylan Brooks filed a restraining order against his baby mama, according to TMZ. Brooks claims Heather Andrews, with whom he shares a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old with, has destroyed his belongings, hacked into his social media accounts, and even once threatened to cut his fingers off so he can never play basketball again. She allegedly also threatened to send someone after his mammy and delete her. All right, there's your white women right there. All right, she ain't a flatback. She a little curvy, but where the white women at? Shout out to Heather. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. All right. Little clingy, I would say. Little clingy. There are some text messages related to this, but like I said, my show needs to go on here. Yeah, she's saying I'm gonna cut your fingers off. Let me see if I can find the text messages real quick. Heather Andrews. Text messages. Let me see if I can see it. I did see a thing there about his text messages. Let me see what we got here. Do we got the text messages here? Let's pull them up. All right. Yep. Oh, that's a real white woman right there. That's a University of Oregon snow bunny. All right. Yep. That's the type of white woman you wouldn't get unless you were a millionaire niggy. All right. That's that type of white woman you're not getting. All right. You got to be a millionaire niggy. You a millionaire niggy, easy peasy. All right. If you're not, you're going to have to pay up. All right. Most of the time, most of us niggas ain't getting that. All right. We're going to peep. Okay. Yep. Because she marrying a white surfer boy if it ain't for him. All right. Her family ain't going for that shit. Here are the text messages right here. Yeah, these are pretty incriminating. I'm going to hurt you, the alleged text said. It says, whack bish can't ask about your kid. Okay. Or the one in my stomach. I'm going to pull up on you. I'm pregnant. I have an excuse. LOL. Oh, she's firing off the text messages. I will pull up at the gym. I'm done effing around. It's war beesh. Just wait. I'll have somebody cut. Oh, she didn't say she'll cut off the fingers. I'll have somebody cut each one of your effing little fingers off one by one. Sounds like Cassie. So you can never play basketball. LOL. And actually, now I understand why people are racist. Oh, man, there you go right there. Bitch, you were over there. Okay, somebody, he must have banged another broad. Right? But she crashing out. And of course, now that it didn't work out for her, now she's racist. par for the course. All right. She should have listened to her daddy. Her daddy told her, if there's one thing I hate more than a niggy. Shout out to Paul Mooney. What is one thing that a white man who has a daughter, hates more than niggies? This is Paul Mooney's joke here, so I just want to give him credit. There's one thing a white supremacist hate more than niggies. Not two niggies. Or it's not two niggies. There's one other thing they hate more than a niggie. Let me see what we can do it. Taxes? No, that ain't it. That ain't it. Let me see what we got here. We got it going on. One thing that a white supremacist daddy whose daughter marries a black guy, one thing they hate more than a niggie. All right, there's one thing, and this should be obvious. Yeah, shout out to Strife XL. He got it. Sergio got it too. A niggy lover. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. A niggy lover. All right, a white woman that loves a niggy. All right, that's one thing that they hate more than a niggy. All right. A niggy lover. Shout out to Jay Cooper. You got it too. Oh, Stan got it too. All right, yeah, that's gonna be the one right there. All right, yes, the one thing they hate more than a niggy is a niggy lover. Yeah, mud shark. All right, a race mixer. All right, for sure. Okay, shout out to Paul Mooney right there. Okay, and let me pause for some super chats. Are we at the end? We have one. Okay, yeah, we're getting close. All right, and how much battery do I have left? It's gonna be the final countdown. I think we can make it. I think we can make it. If there's one thing I hate more than a niggy, it's a niggy lover. All right, you guys can probably attest to that being true. H every day, hustle every day says free agent lifestyle for life, a boss up mentality and a grift or gift. He says, I don't date, I trick. He says, great to see you back, coach. The ruler's back. Get them fingers smelly for me. I could get a little bit graphic about that, but I'm going to hold back because this is a family show. All right, there's married people that watch us, and there's religious people that watch us, and there's women that watch us, and there's children watching us over the summer, so I'll hold back. But I was going to get a little graphic. All right, but anyway, he says, shout out to the coach. It's better how you're doing streams now. Morning on YouTube and evening on Twitch. Genius. Do 5 hours on YouTube. Your numbers should go up for one YouTube stream. I believe so. I believe so. I'm formulating my comeback when I get back in town. I still have a couple more trips, so my life is going to still be interrupted streaming. But once we get to October, November, all right, I'm going to get into a rhythm. But I do notice that it's quite better for YouTube to just do one stream. I don't know if the algorithm punishes me for doing so much streaming. I think they punish me. So I'm figuring out something. I'm working on it. All right. But shout out to you. Thank you for acknowledging that and recognizing that. It's a little bit less in the pockets, but light in the pockets, but it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. What do we got here? We got our brothers over on Venmo. H Everyday says a sign of a lazy 304 is the word I inspire him to. Inspire means I'm lazy. I'm doing just the bare minimum. And that's what she's going to do for any man or woman. Like, I'm your cheerleader. I'll just be off on the side while you're doing all the work. I inspire him by my looks. You know, well, there's musics. There's women that do inspire men. But this is a different type of inspire. She says inspire you to get your shit together. Nah. We're not talking about that. Now, you can inspire me to do something great, right? You can inspire me to be like, hey, I'm super ambitious. And she can inspire me, let's win, all right? But you can't inspire me to do some bare minimum bullshit by doing the bare minimum. Jeff, the producer, says, coach, salute. Shout out to Jeff, the producer, and it's our brother here, Deltrick. Elmore says, it's just you and Jap with the real talk. Shout out to Minister Jap. That's it. It's real talk. It's boss talk over here, man. We ain't coming with the bullshit no more, man. We removing all the goddamn, we removing the gloves, man. We coming back with the hardcore shit. Be coming back with the hardcore shit. Hardcore boss talk. Ain't nobody trying to get you pansy ass niggies. All right, 10 years worth of content, and y'all ain't gonna do shit about it. Not me. Not me. J Flo says, safe travels, coach, and enjoy yourself. Boss up and salute to the coach gang. Yeah. MC Hamster says, Attila the Milk Dug conquering Europe Shout out to the dark side barbarian inside the gates. Don't forget your Trojans for the horses. Pause. Yes, indeed. I got my Trojans for the horses. Yes, indeed. Because these white girls, they be having shit out here. Rosie, Poppy, coach. I got one in France, one in Belgium, and a few in Germany going to Europe for a month tour. He says these normies don't know about that life. Posting from Paris in 2 weeks. And one thing about Europe, it's expensive. All right. This is why you never hear like the passport bros talking about it. Right now, this ain't no shade to the passport bros, but you never really hear them talking about it. Skylar talked about Poland for a little bit. When you come to Europe, everything's more expensive here. All right. It is not a little boy's game here. You're not just going to come here and just fuck 4 girls a day like you do in Thailand. All right. You're not going to do that. You ain't going to be able to afford it. So that's the reality of that. It's a big man's game. Like, it's here, and there's women out here that be chopped to death and they want designer shit. Like, you can't just run those silly games over here. All right, because people be on the go too. Like, people ain't just sitting around. So people just on the go, they moving and grooving. It's crazy. All right, what are we doing here? Cody, Dennis S. He says, what's up, coach? I see you overseas doing field studies, observing the flatus Bacchus in their original habitat. Much love. Yes, the flatbacks. Listen, the Eastern European flatback is like the flatback of America, but there's a lot more. I know there's a lot in America, but they're everywhere here. All right. The flatus Bacchus, they're everywhere here. They're normal here. All right. They grow up here. They breed them here. All right. The tiny waist girls, you know what I mean? And the little petite time. All right. In their wild habitat, and their curiosity does them wonders. Cody says, coach, you should do a live stream on male and female side pieces, mainly commonalities and differences of the two. Always, I enjoy your content as young men, plus young men need it. The youngins need it. All right, they do need this. They need this information. Now, but there's men in between CGA that men listen to. Like, I see a lot of young content creators coming up. They're like 30, 32, and they're giving young guys game, but they're giving them hope. Like, they're still doing you're possibly going to find someone that can build with you, ass nigga. All right. They're not giving them no real shit. Like, they don't have real life experience. They just have life experience up to a point. But, who wants to listen to the graybeard all the time? This nigga's all, it's too much. All right. So they'll go with some guys that'll give them some halfway shit. A little bit of hope here. Brandon says, nice to see you on a Friday, coach. Thank you for sharing what life could be like when you boss up. Enjoy your travel and live it up on these Mitches. Salute to you and shout out to the coach gang. Yeah, man, we living it up. And I told you that's what we were going to do. When you read the Free Agent Lifestyle book in 2018, I told you that's what we were going to be doing here. I said, one of these days in 2021, I was like, I'm going to be out the studio. I'm going to be living outside. All right. And y'all didn't know, COVID slowed me down just a little bit, but I told you that this is what the free agent lifestyle is going to be. You're seeing me live the free agent lifestyle. Stiliano says, boss. He says, boss ass niggies like me hugging a suck on the, what? I don't know what that is. Hugging a suck on the internet. I'm not sure what that means. All right. But yeah, but who remembers me telling you that? I said, look, I said, at some particular point, I'm going to have to live the free agent lifestyle. All right. I'm going to have to live it because y'all don't understand it. Y'all like, coach is scared. He's intimidated by women. He don't touch grass. I was like, bruh, like, I don't know who you think I am, but I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. Now, I don't like cold approach as a strategy. That doesn't mean you can't talk to women in the open. All right. That's what y'all thought. Coach don't talk to women. But no, like, you can talk to women in public. All right, now, if I'm going to go out there and just hope and pray that I'm going to get her phone number and fuck her that night, that's ridiculous. Right? That's ridiculous, bro. All right, that shit ain't going to, that's a waste of your time, nigga. If this going to happen, it's going to happen. You wasting your time building up hope that that's going to happen. And you're going to come out here disappointed every goddamn week, every goddamn day. All right, but anyway, let's get to this one real quick. We have, all right, I don't even know why I don't have a banner for this. All right, but quickly, quickly, we'll move quickly down here. We have the next story here, which is a woman says that she doesn't want to have sex with her husband at all. Sexless marriages. All right, I could probably change the banner, but this is according to, what's this guy's name? John Deloney. Listen to this clip.
I have absolutely no interest in having sex with my husband at all. And I'm kind of at a point where I don't really know what to do about it, because I know while I may not need it, I know he needs it. And it's getting very challenging for me because I'm just kind of in this, please don't touch me. I don't want to be touched. And I want to have sex.
Of course.
But I don't.
Excellent. I imagine you're not telling a whole bunch of people that. Is that fair?
No, I think I've mentioned it to 2 girlfriends.
Okay.
One agreed with me and one was like, what are you talking about?
Okay. So number one, I want you to know you are absolutely not crazy. You're not alone. Okay. And not alone to the tune of millions. Okay. So you're not nuts.
Okay. John Deloney comes in with the cape. All right. John Deloney in with the cape. So you're not alone. As I've been trying to warn you that if you get married, you got to expect that this is going to happen. Okay. You're going to expect this is going to happen. So especially if you marry white women, this is a classic white woman bait and switch. All right. They are the bait and switch artists when it comes to sexless marriage. All right. They're good at it. All right. They're good at it. They will get you to do certain things and then they will literally switch up on you. But John Deloney saying, yeah, you're not alone. It's normal because John Deloney's wife ain't banging him. John Deloney's wife ain't banging him at all. All right. So here's what you got. You got essentially John Deloney saying, yeah, I mean, we're encouraging this type of behavior. And guess what? You end up in one of these situations. And what happens? You don't have any recourse. All right. What's going on with my stream? All right. Can you go? Okay. My computer's slowing down. All right. You don't have any recourse. So as long as John Deloney's saying, yeah, all right, go for it, ma'am. All right. You're a princess warrior. Don't sleep with your husband. Don't sleep with your husband. This is what you guys got to deal with. And there's a lot of white guys out here that got to have sugar babies. They got to go out there at the titty club. They're just out here miserable. And she says, I have no interest. No interest. I don't want to even touch this guy. Oh, by the way, let me just say this. Let me say this. There are clips going around of John Deloney and Dave Ramsey. All right. And I want you guys, I know you guys share these. I'm just pretty sad about this AI thing. Yes, I'm sad. There are clips going around and people, man, you know, it pisses me off because I'm a content creator. What they're doing is they're using the reactions of John Deloney and Dave Ramsey and they're putting AI stories over them. And you can tell they're fake. All right. Because Dave Ramsey or John Deloney doesn't even respond in the video. All right. All they're doing is making facial expressions. Now, because people are not good at recognizing fake shit, all right, you guys send me these videos and I'm like, bro, y'all wasting your time. You're wasting your time. I'm not going to be one of these goofy ass content creators that just fall for the bait. Fall for the bait. This is a fake video, right? It's not on their channel. It's not from them. People, and this is the risk that I think that Instagram people are lazy and TikTokers. All they're doing is just video recording, screen recording a video and reposting it. And it drives me crazy because there's so much AI. There's so many of these type of videos. It drives me nuts because it's nothing but rage bait for the incels and the red pill ragers. And it's nothing but rage bait for the feminists and these goofy ass delusional women. And it really is frustrating. So when I get one of these, yeah, it's just the beginning. Y'all sending me one of some old chick talking about she was a skeezer. I'm like, that's clearly AI. Stop sending me that shit. Please don't waste your time and stop sending me shit with a lot of music in the background. I'm not going to play it. All right. So stop sending me this shit. It's just ridiculous, guys. You guys are falling right for the trap and you just want me to play it. I'm not going to look like a fool playing this shit. All right, but I want to see the only time, yeah, China. Somebody said China doing it. The only time I want to see a clip of these type of people is if he's reacting to the clip, if he starts speaking in the clip. If he's just moving his head and he's looking pensive and concerned, it's not a real clip. It's not a real clip. Yeah, China and Iran, like it's so fucking frustrating to me as a content creator when I see this. And I've seen several content creators in this space react to these videos. And I'm like, bro, and I'm like, they gotta know this is fake. I mean, I get a skit, A skit is one thing, all right, and even these skits are just ridiculous, all right. Some of the skits, but I have straggle and sniggle theater for skits, all right. I try not to do it, and every now and then I might have an AI here and there, all right. But I'm not gonna fall for this okey doke. I'll not do reaction videos if this is the fucking thing we're gonna do, all right. But if you have a John Deloney or a Dave Ramsey, I see a lot of people doing it with music in the background. Make sure Dave Ramsey or John Deloney responds in the video. If they're just looking around and some guy's talking about some completely ridiculous scenario like he's Mr. Lucario, it's not a real video. It's not a real video. So it's bad. It's getting worse out here. But anyway, enough about that. You see what's happening there. She says, I don't even want to have sex with my husband. But this woman says the same thing, but she's going to twist. There's a twist to it. There's a twist. There's a twist. There's a woman. Look at these lazy ass controversies. Bro, just reacting. Okay, maybe that comes from a live stream. She says, I have sex with my husband plenty of times when I don't want to. Right there. When I don't want to. So you guys want genuine burning desire. You guys think that you're going to be just an average guy and you're going to get a woman and that you don't have to do nothing and she's going to give you burning desire sex. False. False. All right. You guys don't know what you're asking for. You think just you're going to want a woman to cuddle and love you and give you burning desire sex. That's not how they work. All right. Sometimes you got to light their flame. Sometimes you got to get them wet. Sometimes you got to initiate. That's how they work. Sometimes you got to rev that engine up. Sometimes you got to light up the spark. You know, they don't just come ready. All right. Now, some dudes they come ready for. Most guys, they don't, especially husband type of guys. So let's hear this woman right here. She says right here, I've had sex with my husband plenty of times when I didn't want to.
I have sex with my husband plenty of times when I don't want to. Now, before you come at me and start worrying, hear me out. Because what I'm about to tell you is something no one talks about when it comes to desire and intimacy. For most of us, desire doesn't happen the way we think it should happen. Like we're sitting around waiting for the spark, waiting for the moment. Maybe your husband says like, hey babe, you want to get friendly? And you're like, you kind of scan your body. You're like, no, I'm like watching a movie. Why would I want to get friendly in the middle of a movie? What if I told you that that's not how desire is going to work for you? What if I told you that you're actually going to have to put yourself, your body and your mind in the circumstances in order for sex to actually happen?
Sad part is this is how they talk to the husband right here. Right? This is how they talk to the husband. When you get married, they talk to you like she's your school teacher. All right, just so you guys know. All right, and maybe a little bit of times they might baby talk you. So there you go right there. And of course, I mean, who wants to bang that out all the time? I mean, you want to bang it out a couple of times, but that's not why you married her, to bang. She looked like Alice the Goon, right? She looked like Alice the Goon. Nobody wants to bang Alice the Goon out. Look it up. I don't have time to pull it up. But husband don't want to bang this sloppy yogurt, soggy titty. You know what I mean? Like, look at this. She looked like, who wants to bang this all the time? So he's just like, all right, I got to bang it. You know what I mean? I'll get a penalty for not banging her out. But that's what she's there for. And she's like, well, you know, sometimes I'm not in the mood. Sometimes I look at myself and say, really? Sometimes I'm like, I just want to watch a TV show. Why do you want to talk to me? All right, I'll do it. All right, let me lay on my back. Carl's your star. All right, let me lay on my back. All right. She'll lay on her back and let you pump and push and shove and huff and puff. All right. No burning desire. She'll just look outside the window like this. You'll be banging her, grunting, and she just looking outside the window like this. Yes. It happens. I hope for the people who it don't happen to, God bless you. God bless you. All right. And she wondered why it take us so long. Why does it take us so long? It's like, I don't know. I don't have anybody to think about. Or maybe I'll go to the Starbucks or Jamba Juice before I come bang you out so I can think about somebody else. All right. But there it is right there. And of course, you're supposed to keep your deals Nick up for this shit. You're supposed to be able to stroke this. And she ain't, look how she's sitting here, bro. Nobody want to bang that. Look at her neck. All right, let's continue.
Before you're going to know if you're really in the mood. And so that's what I started doing. No pressure, no coercion, only doing what I want to do, but really learning about how my body works. So that instead of it being a complete, nope, not interested, now I'm like, what am I? Could I be?
Hey, man, hey, look, suburban white women, rural white women, this is it. Like if you date them average, plain Janes who, you know, they like Chad and Tyrone, but they're not really sexual creatures like that. This has been something that has been said about them for centuries, that those type of women aren't even supposed to be interested in sex like that. And if they are, men are turned off on them. So these women are supposed to hide their sexuality, and sometimes they repress these feelings, and they get married and don't realize, why my husband always touching on me and grabbing my ass and titties, right? She doesn't even know, and she doesn't even know how our body works. She might tell you she never even touched herself before. You know what I mean? And you want her to watch some Prown at a Diddy party. She like, I don't even know how to touch myself. I don't even know how to get myself off. Right? You're like, holy crap. All right. So if she can't get herself off and squirt, you know what I mean? Like, there's no chance of you getting her off. You ain't gonna get her off at all. All right. She don't even know what's happening. Remember, I showed you a woman that said, I've been married for 30 years and never had an orgasm. Never. So these are some of these kind of suburban, repressed, rural wives that you guys fall in love with, you know, because you think they ain't gonna cheat on you. They'll eventually know their body at 38 and go fuck everybody they can. Niggies too. All right, but let's hear what she says. Oh, you know, maybe I could get interested in this. All right. Maybe I could, you know, maybe I could fondle him. She ain't gonna suck the black off your dick. This one ain't. You be like, why don't I put it in your mouth and see how far it can fit back to your throat? All right. She ain't gonna do it. All right. You got to talk her and coax her into it. Just go to the titty bar. Just get you a sugar baby. All right. Fuck that. Coming home to this. Look at his neck. All right. She ain't sucked a good dick in 12 years, maybe 15. Let's continue.
I don't know. Maybe. So when I learned how desire works, and how my body responds to desire, and how nervous system safety works for me, my relationship with my husband could create the conditions and circumstances that are conducive to having more intimacy.
No way, bruh. This is what you want? This is what you goofy ass niggas, man, we shouldn't have to become better. This is what you want? I'm gonna tell you, you don't want this, bruh. You don't want this smoke, because this is the person right here going to divorce you when you start fucking somebody else. All right, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna divorce you. They're gonna divorce you when she catches you watching prom. She's gonna walk in on you, and you're gonna be beating your meat and fixing your meat, and she's gonna walk in on you. Is there something I can do better? I just feel like you just don't need that. I feel like you're cheating watching these young girls. All right, this is her, bro. Trust me, I've been there, done that. I've seen a lot of these white women do this. They were really freaks. Maybe at some point in their life, they went through a small hole phase, but now they have some religious context to make them feel guilty about having sex. And then you marry them, and they still bring that guilt in about sex. It's so dirty. It's just for procreation. Mormon wife, school mom. All right, this is how you want to talk to you over here, Mr. Burning Desire. I think we could create conditions that are conducive to intimacy. Never mind. Never mind. All right, I don't want it. All right, nah. I want you choking on this. That's what I want you to do. All right, I want to put the banana up the tailpipe. Let's get freaky tonight. Get your shit ready. Never mind. This is a family show. All right, I don't want to lay down with this and get some intimacy. All right, we can create a good conditions conducive to intimacy, and he can get his arousals or rocks off, and then all of a sudden I think I can enjoy it. Oh, disgusting, bro. All right, disgusting, disgraceful.
In a really safe way, where desire emerges. When you understand these patterns, your body's signals, your safety needs, relationship dynamics, you get something really powerful. And that is choice.
That's choice. All right, now I chose to have intimacy with my husband. Dude, imagine being married to this. Bro, you're going to be married for this for 20 years and be telling people, man, I found somebody that rocked with me. And I don't pay for box. I would never pay for box. I have a wife at home, and I create a condition that lights the spark that is conducive to intimacy. And now she's in the mood. I have to get her in the mood. No, thank you. All right, main event. Let's get to it out here. Let's go to the Diddy party. Pause. All right, we got Diddy catches a case. Diddy catching more cases. Only 2 hours today or less. Catches more cases. All right, we got it up here. Diddy catches more cases. Main event. I don't have the bell, but we'll do it. We'll do it live. By the way, I'll be back in studio on Wednesday. Yeah, brother. All right, unless Rosalinda's there. Rosalinda will be there. All right, main event. We got Diddy out here. Just in case you didn't know, I had been covered by the media, and they called me a misogynist. They said that I thought Cassie was a victim, and then that, black men should not pursue relationships with black women. I don't know what they were talking about. I don't care about black men and black women, to be honest with you. All right. But anyway, I care about all people. I don't care about a specific group of people. But Diddy is poised to possibly beat this case, meaning that they said he might get 25 to life. He might get a couple of years. All right. And that would be beating the case. I mean, you know, he's fighting for his life out there. But if he only walks away with a couple of years on this case, they definitely didn't prove a RICO. All right. But we'll see what they do out here. I can't imagine after this particular situation, they've dropped many of the charges that were related to, pretty much unrelated to the RICO case. They try to make him be, you know, responsible for Kid Cudi's car blowing up. They try to paint him as an evil villain, but later to drop this so that the jury is swayed by hearing testimony of how evil guy he is. But they didn't even prove that he did that. They tried to make it a domestic violence case, and there was no domestic violence case at all. It was about Cassie and the male performers and Diddy hiring each other to piss in Cassie's mouth. All right. And to fold up that other woman here, Jane Doe. All right, but anyway, volunteers, complete volunteers, it's a farce. But he's poised to beat this case in a major way, and he's probably going to get some favor here. And he might even be able to bail himself out. You know what I mean? It's New York. It's a federal case. Okay, so with this being said, you would think that it would be all gravy for Diddy. He would be excited about next week with a possible verdict. But not so fast, Diddy. All right. Breaking news here. Diddy and his son, Justin Combs, hit with a lawsuit by a woman who claims that she was brutally gang raped. All right. So, yeah, man, when it rains, it pours. This guy's being basically wiped out. All right. He's not a good person. I never defend Diddy in terms of him being a good person here. And who would have thought Diddy was the bad guy all this time? We thought it was Suge Knight, but Suge Knight is in prison. All right. You might even see Diddy serve a couple of a bid here. But it rains, it pours, because now you have people that know lawsuits are the new divorce. I'm just going to make an accusation that can be partially proved, and I'm going to file a case in the civil court and try to get some money. And of course, you know, look, if Cassie and the other woman, Jane Doe, can say this, well, then obviously my story should be believable too. But now the son's being dragged into it. Is this his son, or is that Al B. Sure's son? I can't tell. Justin Combs, son of Diddy, is being accused of luring a woman to come to Los Angeles under the pretense of landing her a job in the entertainment industry. However, once she arrived, she claims she was kept in a house for several days and ultimately raped by multiple men, including Diddy, according to the lawsuit. According to the lawsuit details, after consuming multiple drugs while being at their home, 3 masked men showed up at the house. Oh, no. Sounds like some role play to me. She claims one of them was Diddy. Okay. One of the men was Diddy here. So, you know, it kind of matches up with Diddy's behavior, as he's been, you know, known to wear masks during some of these freak offs. And it says right here, she claims one of them was Diddy, whom she recognized by the distinctive stature and demeanor, and Justin referred to him as Pops. She alleges that she was taken upstairs to a bedroom and was warned, "You better let this happen or else." Sounds like role play to me, right? I don't think they would have to steal Punani, all right? But that's neither here nor there. According to her account, all 3 men took turns raping her in the Duke shoot and orally while she was incapacitated by drugs. I mean, I've heard this recently. Somebody just told me I was incapacitated. I was passed out. So I don't know what happened. I'm not responsible for it. I don't know if it was a sexual assault, but I've heard this. I've heard women say this. And it's like, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. How do you describing this? Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? You were incapacitated. You were froze. You said no. You didn't say anything. You just was. It's a hard dynamic to understand. Like, for us to hear this, it's just like, so you were doing drugs with them and drinking. That's what you were doing. They were feeding you drugs. You were doing drugs and drinking. You came there for a job, and y'all was just kicking it. All right. And your job was to kick it and be a fucking mascot. Then all of a sudden it was time to give up the Duke shoot. Now, at some particular point, there might have been an engagement in role play. They might have said, "We about to take turns on you." You might have said, "Well, what the fuck am I going to do about it?" I have no idea. But this sounds wild and wicked. All right. But now let me just tell you something. I know a young lady, and one of the young ladies have appeared in some of my streams as of late. She said she didn't say these guys did anything to her, but she said she was invited and knew many of these people here. All right. So she said she hung out with these people as well. And she never said what she did, but I'm pretty sure she did something, knowing her. Right. I'm pretty sure somebody fucked somebody. She might have even got it. I have no idea. All right. Somebody said, how can I send you videos to watch? Bruh, answer this nigga's question, bruh. Do y'all listen to me or no? How can I send you videos to watch? Somebody type the number one way and the only way that I take videos from people. All right, come on, man. All right, let's continue. I like that I can pop up that shit right there. All right, so anyway, what else we got? Diddy's lawyer responded to the lawsuit in the statement to TMZ and said, no matter how many lawsuits are filed, it won't change the fact that Mr. Combs has never SA'd or trafficked anyone, a man or a woman, adult or a minor. A minor. We live in a world where anyone can file a lawsuit for any reason. Fortunately, a fair, impartial judicial process exists to find the truth, and Mr. Combs is confident he will prevail in court. The sad part is he'll prevail in court. Yeah, I mean, he's going to settle this case more than likely. He doesn't want to fight this case. Once he gets done with the Fed case, he doesn't want to fight this. They're going to pay this person off. All right. They're going to have to pay her off, and or they're going to have to just probably find some weak spot in the case and get it dismissed. All right. They're probably going to have to get the case dismissed by not lining up dates or something like this. All right. But, you know, unfortunately, this is what comes with the territory, especially if you're famous. And Diddy is, you know, one of the most well-known people in the world. It's certainly over the last 30 years. And so now that you have one person filing suit and seeing that people settle, then more people will come out and do this. Now, to throw the young boy into it, well, that's sad. You know, that's sad that he was involved in this. And now he has to defend himself, whether he was doing stuff or not. Now, I'm going to just tell you, man, sex for these guys was relatively easy. People know what the Diddy parties were about. There were a lot of volunteers over there. And there were probably some victims over there as well. Some people that didn't realize that they were supposed to be over there doing that. So those relationships came easy to them, and it came at a time where women didn't have as much of a voice. So now we're getting the stories again. Now the women are looking at it and going, well, maybe now I'm 25. I'll look at it differently than when I was 17 doing it, or 18. I thought I was just going to hang out and chill and kick it. I thought that was enough. You remember that in high school and college, girls were like, I thought we would just hang out. And then all of a sudden, then they're like, you're progressing on them, and they're like, I'm kind of getting uncomfortable about this. Who remembers that? Like freshman year in college, girls just thought they was just gonna fucking hang out and smoke your dope, smoke your weed up, and drink up all your drink and eat up all your food and just hang. I thought we were just hanging out, ass bitches. Nah, we ain't just hanging out, bitch. Toot that ass up. Now that's not the end for Diddy, because there is another case. He catches two cases on the same day, and the second case is, where's the second case? Is some Duke shooter shit. So unfortunately, I gotta report this. I don't like to talk about Duke shoot shit. But Diddy says, you're about to get that Diddy love, according to a man. He said what Diddy said before he allegedly raped him. Not only a young woman says that Diddy ran up the Duke shoot, now we got a man out here. Same day, June 26 has been a bad Diddy year. Diddy is being sued by a man who claims Diddy ran it up his Duke shoot at a house party after telling him, you about to get that Diddy love. Now this sounds plausible. Just to let you guys know, this sounds plausible. This sounds like it's highly likely happened. All right, just based on what we know, the Bad Boys founder is being sued by a man named Brandon Adams. No relation, who claims he was invited to a party Diddy was hosting in 2021, only to show up and be ran up the Duke shoot. In the lawsuit obtained by TM Zizzle, Adams, no, we're gonna not call him Adams. All right, we can't call you Adams. We're gonna call you Brandon. All right, Brandon claims he got invited from a chauffeur he met at a LA gas station, and when he showed up, he said he was told to keep his phone in the car. Inside the bash, he claims he saw celebs but didn't interact with them. This sounds terribly wrong. And has some alcoholic beverages that made him feel dizzy. Now, this one should get thrown out. All right. Brandon claims he found an empty bathroom, collapsed on the bed, and fell unconscious. He said the next thing he remembers is feeling of the hand unbuckling his belt. He said he asked what's going on and heard a man's voice he believed to be Diddy answer, "You're about to get that Diddy love." And why they got him showing with Donald Trump out there? That's nappy-headed Diddy right there. All right. I don't believe this story at all either. All right. In the suit, Brandon claims he was rolled from his stomach onto his side and told, "Don't worry, you're about to get a great massage." I don't want to read this. He said he turned his head and saw Diddy running it up his Duke chute. Look, I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. You looked over. You didn't feel anything? You had to look over? Because I swear to God, if that's not something I would have done, I wouldn't even have to have looked. All right. I would have known, you know what I mean? And I don't want to know this situation. I looked over and then I saw him running up my Duke chute. Nah, I don't even want to talk about this shit. I have a real propensity not to be healthily talking about this. This is a disgrace. He claims he tried to protest, but Diddy grabbed the back of his neck and threatened him by reciting the information on his driver's license, in which Brandon said he had been scanned by security upon entry. He said Diddy finished up and left the room, and Brandon said he felt pain and a vile sensation. He claims that he tried to confront Diddy, but was intercepted by the security guards who carried him to another room and told him he could either play along or leave the party like nothing happened the hard way. Sounds like I'm gonna get you, sucker. He says he played along and was told to sign an NDA. He claims once he signed it, he was escorted to the exit and allowed to leave, but he says he got pulled over on his way home and arrested for a DUI, which he blames on the lingering effects of the drugs he unknowingly consumed. Brandon is suing Diddy for assault and battery, gender violence, and more, and he is going after him for damages. Now, this is where it gets ridiculous. Tony Busby is his attorney. His lawyer, Tony Busby, the Texas attorney representing a slew of alleged victims, and the suit was filed during Diddy's criminal trial. Worth noting, none of Busby's clients have testified in the Diddy trial. None of them. Not only that, he also brought up the 13-year-old girl who allegedly had the same story. I was just out at night by myself, and the limousine driver invited me over. All right, that's the same story the 13-year-old girl had against Jay-Z. So that was Tony Busby's client. So Tony Busby has been over when it comes to Diddy. He's good when it comes to Justin Tucker, and he's good when it comes to Deshaun Watson. All right, but when it comes to Diddy and Jay-Z, he has been relatively unsuccessful. Relatively unsuccessful. No way. All right, and it says right there, Diddy's legal team, it says, listen, we know what they're going to say. All right, they're going to say, hey, by the way, Diddy's legal team is getting paid. Okay. Diddy's legal team is getting majorly paid. All right. So Diddy's legal team is like, keep filing cases. All right. We keep getting paid. And Diddy's net worth is dropping down. I mean, he was a billionaire. Now he's like a 400 millionaire. All right. And 400,000 millionaire. 400 millionaire. And the ninja finna have $200 million at the end of it. He's about to have 200 million if he's lucky at the end of this. My goodness. All right. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Let's get to the super chats and close up today's show. Thank you for the support. Hit the like button, man. Replay gang, appreciate y'all for being here. I'm going to go on outside here and get outside of Vienna. All right, and go see what's going on here. Shout out to our brother here. It is Stiliano says, hugging on your granddad like a little boy. He says, you better something. You better boss up. Hugging on your granddad. Shout out to you. All right, what do we got here? You better boss up hugging on your granddad like that. You don't hug up on a real player. You don't hug up on a real player. All right, let me sign in over here. Float on, float on. Who is this? JC, shout out to you. Did you say anything? Coach, the words you were looking for was sympathy, Punani. All right. He says, also, I come to realize that we're all on borrowed peace leave. It's just a matter of time before she's no longer mine. That's the truth, man. No matter how much you fight it, that peace leave that you fighting for, that you don't want to leave, she gonna give 2 pieces of peace leave to somebody else. Like, there's only so much time you gonna have with the peace leave. Just enjoy that piece of peace leave. And this is hard for me to do too, because sometimes I'll be like, I don't want nobody to bang my peace leave. All right, but she just yours and ain't your turn. She ain't yours. It's just your turn. All right. It's just your turn, man. All right. Now, if you just, let them go, man. Get as much as you can out of that peace leave, but that peace leave belong to the world, bro. That's the world's piece of peace leave. All right, that's the world's peace leave. And young man, I'm just letting you know, man. I know you think that the girl you're gonna be with forever. You're probably not. You're probably not. All right, I can't say my body count. I've been with lots of women. All right, and I'm 50. The women I was with 20 years ago, I don't even remember their name. The women I was with 25 years ago, who are they? Who are these people? Where they at? Where they at? These people are not here, man. These people are gone, long gone. And a bunch of dudes done fucked them since that time. Oh, also, somebody mentioned these girls. I don't want to talk about them girls that be banging 1,000 dudes. Like, I'm not going to talk about them. All right. And just be like, talk about them. I ain't going to talk about them. Any of you content creators, you lazy piece of shit content creators, covering these trash whores. All right. Giving them free promo, keeping a whole name and legacy together. Man, the best thing to do is ignore these skeezers. But nah, y'all got to put them bitches on the thumbnail. Y'all going to send up half your audience over there to subscribe. These red pill guys, man, these red pill content creators, I swear to God, I look at them like, if they're not red pill, I'm not red pill no more. But these manosphere content creators, I'll be like, bruh, why the fuck are you keep bringing them up? I know y'all want views and y'all got to pay your rent at the end of the month. It ain't that bad, is it? Is it that bad? Because you making these people rich. It's like, you keeping their name alive. And now I see Andrew Tate talking to one of the girls. I'm like, bruh, we cooked. This space is just basically, this space has no value. This space has no value. It doesn't. When the leading people in this space can't help but realize that, are they in cahoots? Are these people colluding? Because they got to be getting paid off each other at this particular point. There's no possible way you guys are fucking falling for this. It's like, what are we doing? They just want me to respond to some woman that got 1,000 nigga train on them. What? Nah, not me, bro. Not me. Not me, bro. I'm not about to do that. That shit is, that's low-hanging fruit. That's cheap views. All right, anyway. All right, but yeah, they people must be in cahoots. I must not get the message because nobody wants to be in cahoots with me. But anyway, fuck it. Shout out to our brother. It is Dominicano Conyo says, get a second job, coach, completely locked, or you got a completely second job locked in. He says that story about the DR girl seems about right. Every girl I know from back home had a kid before 18. And if you didn't have one, people looked at you like you were weird. That culture definitely exists in the DR. All right, in the DR and many other cultures, but certainly in the DR, certainly the Philippines as well. A lot of teenage sex. I mean, it used to be different. And, in America, we progressed where, a woman having sex and having a kid as a teen seems absolutely abominable. And we need to stop this. But in the Dominican and the Philippines, not so much. That's par for the course. All right, that's par for the course. I actually had a video up of a young girl in the Dominican. They found her in the woods somewhere, and they found her pregnant. Well, she was dead. All right, but somebody probably knocked her on the head. Probably an older guy. All right, probably an older guy. I don't know how much older, but he probably knocked her up and was like, nah, not I. You're going to ruin my family. Panama's the same way. I mean, especially with the Latinos. The Latinos, their culture, I know you guys want to think the Latinos are first world, but their culture definitely has this going on. All right. I don't think, and it could change a little bit, but yeah, I don't even want to bring it up. The Latinos definitely be on some early development. You know what I mean? They be going steady at 14 and 15 and shit and cutting their names into their fucking wrists. All right. We slice my name of my lover into my wrist. Same with the C Mexicans, them too. They fall in love at 13 and shit. They be trying to get married at 15 and shit and have a baby at 15 and a half and 16 at the quinceañera. Yep, they be getting tattoos of each other when they're 14, 15. All right, this is my hyena forever. Little Nikki got a mustache and shit. You know the Mexican boys, they be having a mustache. The Puerto Ricans that be having a mustache when they 14. All right, be trying to do father role shit. And be trying to say, I don't sleep around. All right, I only need one woman for the rest of my life. And then 15 years later, she a whole torta. She a whole gordita. Right? Man, they flatbacks everywhere out here, bro. If you like flatbacks, Eastern Bloc is for you, bro. All right, they flatbacks everywhere. All right, ice cream cookies. All right, but yeah, he gonna be with her for 25, 30 years. She finally gonna divorce his monkey ass too. All right, she gonna divorce his ass too. But anyway, let's see here. Enough about that. Our brother here, Greg P. He says, Coach, my wife left me. Should I focus on myself? Maybe try the Europe scene. If you got money, do you got money to try the Europe scene? Because it's expensive out here, man. These European broads, like they first world, bro. Don't think you gonna come out here and get some cheap shit out here, bro. European girls are expensive. I mean, meaning that their whole lifestyle is expensive. It's even the euro, or the euro compared to the dollar, it's more expensive here. It's more expensive to live here. And some of these bitches ain't going for the okie doke. Right. And they got jobs and careers. Like these women are focused on working. They're little worker bees over here. They like going to the little job and having meetings and all this stuff and feeling important. They're not out here getting just, let me get married and have kids. Not here. You're going to have to catch them out in the rural area. These bitches get their little job and pay 50% of their money in taxes. All right. Yeah, the euro versus the dollar, the euro is worth more than the dollar. Like that doesn't mean they have more value, but it monetarily is worth more. All right. So it's a worse off situation for you. So it's a little bit more difficult out here in terms of that. Now you can play around. The thing about many of the European women is that they are not too religious when it comes to sex. They're very liberal when it comes to sex. All right, meaning that like they'll get freaky, like they'll hook up, they'll do the whole no strings attached, and they'll do it. They're a lot more liberal when it comes to sex. You got to remember, a lot of these cultures were communist, right? At one particular point, certainly 30 years ago. So if you think about it, it's the opposite of religion, a lot opposite of religious. All right. But before that, they were religious, and somewhat after that, they became a little more religious. But they don't have hanging over their head, the Lord's going to judge them for sin, for slobbing on 10 guys' knobs. All right. So they are a lot more liberal. They tend to be a lot more liberal when it comes to intimacy. Whereas in the United States, we still have this moral compass about sex that doesn't really exist here. It doesn't exist at that level here. It exists, but not at the level. And in America, we always fall back on Judeo-Christianity, Puritans. All right. It's always a fallback. All right. Even in the black community, which is downright dastardly, downright heathenous. I mean, the black community is heathen, whether you're in the rural South or the inner city. Heathen. Y'all kill each other. Y'all fuck on each other's girls and impregnate. Kill each other. Y'all divorce and single mother raise. And then all of a sudden, niggas start talking about church. Niggas start talking about church as if this is the most moral group of people you'll ever fucking find. The Mexicans are the next biggest violators of this, talking about Catholic, and they'll do their rosary and shit, and they'll be fucking at teenagers and having pregnancies and shit. Like, what the fuck is y'all talking about? Like crazy shit. Like, y'all gonna bring up the Lord now? See, Mexicans are the fucking next. Filipinos. All right, so those three in that order. Blacks. And then let's talk about the Middle Easterns. All right. The debaucherous shit they be doing behind their wives' backs and shit to American girls and dookying on them. and defiling them and shit. But when it comes to it, in the Western culture in the United States, the North America, we fall back on Judeo-Christianity as a moral compass. All right. And when it suits us, we could just fall back and say, this is the right thing to do. Bible. All right. We fall back on it. Whereas in Europe, not so much. It depends where you are. Right here. All right. They won't fall back onto that. They'll just be like, hey, it's natural. Hooking up. What's wrong? But the hypocrisy of it is what gets me. All right. I feel like, y'all fucking heathens. Well, he who has not sinned, let him cast the first stone, ass niggas. No, man, don't be falling back into your fucking God now. Sky daddy shit. Don't fall back onto it now. All right. You out here fucking on each other and doing drugs and the stanky leg and shit, staying up all late at night. All right. Going to the club Saturday night, going to church Sunday morning. Now, all of a sudden, yeah, you got them celebrating Duke shooters. You got the whole goddamn choir and the pastor and the deacon Duke shooting on Pride Month. And then y'all want to fall back on the Lord. Hell no. But anyway, what I was saying was in Europe, it's not quite like that for everybody. There is a little bit of that there, but you guys got to realize their history goes way back, all right, to the Roman Empire. All right. So, you know, for us, I'm a historian. I'm a history buff, which means in effect, in the United States, our history doesn't go back that far. All right. Our history goes back to like 1492. Really, then it's kind of like fuzzy, right? We still don't agree what happened in 1492. Really, our history in the United States goes back to like 1600. That's about as far as it goes back. Now, we know that there was Native Americans. You guys don't realize they were there for 10, 20, 30,000 years. The Vikings were there in the 1000s, right? In the 10th century. Like, it goes way back there, but that's not our mind frame. Our history really goes back to 1600, 1700. All right, that's for us. And in Europe, that shit goes back to like the 8th century, the 7th century, and even further than that, right? So they have a sense of understanding that, oh, there's a whole bunch of ways you can do shit. There's a whole bunch of ways you can do shit. We done shit a whole bunch of ways. They had the Roman Empire come through, the Visigoths, the motherfucking King the Conqueror. They had the damn the Dark Ages. They had the Renaissance period. They had the Greeks, the freaks. I mean, this shit goes back thousands of years, and you can see it. You could just walk outside and see something. Oh, that's from 3,000 years ago. In America, we don't have that, so we can always fall back on Puritanism and religion in the 1700s, and when there was a time, traditional dating, which goes back to 1950. We don't have a deep history, and our history is very muddy once you go back so far. You can go back to 1940 and beyond. Like 1940 and further, and it's terrible history in America. Like, we don't even want to revisit it. We can't even talk about it. Can't even talk about it. So it gets really fuzzy then. Now we want to have fisticuffs when we talk about anything that happened prior to 1940. All right, you look at the Mexicans today. They only want to go back to Mexico. They sitting up here talking about the conquistadors came through, and this was our land. I was like, nigga, y'all literally lost the war. Like, y'all signed the treaty. It's over. You know what I mean? Y'all trying to claim back land. It was stolen from us. No, you got your ass kicked in a war. You lost. Spain lost. We got the fucking conquistadors out. We took that shit over, and they signed the treaty. Nigga, it's over. You lost. Right? Niggas want to revision history now. Well, it really was ours. Nah, y'all got your ass whooped. Y'all lost. Y'all got ran off the spot. You had the okie doke pulled on you. Y'all signed off on it. Right? Everybody was fine with it. Now you want to bring it up and shit. Nah, bro. Shit was over. Y'all lost. Take the L, nigga, and move the fuck on. It's not your land no more. Period. It ain't your land. Y'all lost. You get your ass whooped. Y'all gave up the ass, right? And then y'all try to fight the Spanish for y'all's independence. Y'all got ran off. Fuck. And then they sold the other half. Yeah, they sold the other half. Look up Malibu, and you can barely find it. There was one guy, there was a Mexican guy that owned all of Malibu. He sold it, gambling debt, or he was in debt. He sold it. All of what exists of Malibu today, one Mexican guy owned all of that shit. All them homes that got 30, 40, $50 million homes on it. All that valuable land wasn't stolen. He sold it. He sold it for a debt that probably amounted to $11,000 today. He was a rancher. So people had debt. And just like today, when we have debt and we have to sell our house, that's like our grandkids saying they stole our house. No, they didn't. Your grandfather sold it because he was rolling craps outside with Takeoff and Migos. All right. And he lost and he put the pink slip on his car. All right. And he said he can win the race and he fucking lost. Nobody stole it. Your granddaddy was an alcoholic and he got in debt. And that was the way for him to get out. Nobody stole shit. All right. Or he got in a little bit of debt and somebody came over with some papers. He signed it when he was drunk off the Henny. And guess what? He lost. Nigga, he sold it. Right. Nobody stole it from him. He got bamboozled and okie doke. And that's what happened. He signed off on it. All right. Nobody stole shit. Sometimes they'll steal your land and give you some eminent domain. We know about that in the Marina Del Rey, Manhattan Beach area. Yeah, we know that shit. All right. But look. Yeah, shit is wild. History is a motherfucker, all right? But no, nobody had to steal shit, all right? You was down $1,100 on your parlay, and now you had to sell your land, all right? It's all good. Don't be mad. Get glad. All right, shout out to Kevin G says, it's your favorite Kenyan American here. Next time you see a Kenyan girl, ask her, Nawiza, I can't say all of that. It translates, cannot put it in your Duke shoe. Did you see that beautiful Kenyan woman? She was a cutie. She was a cutie, man. I think I can't remember her name, but she was a cutie and she probably was young. All right. My man said he rolled snake eyes. Shout out to Mike Key, says, glad to see you having a party. He says, you're the Pusha T of this space. You stay to yourself, but you're timeless and richer than everybody. All right. Yes, indeed. All right. And I'm living better now. Coogee sweater now. And it's just getting started. I just got to fix a couple of binds that I'm in. Shout out to Suave Genius, says, keep preaching that fire. Yes, indeed. Shout out to what is H every day, hustle every day. What is gender violence? I think it has something to do with if you attack something. It's kind of like a racial crime. So if you go against somebody that is gay or a woman, you could get a gender violence. And he says, hustle every day. So those type of white women use the word choice to mean standing her ground. So that's passive aggressive defense. What's the man's offensive rebounds and rebuttals, or is that coat? Okay. Standing her ground. And I'm not sure what that's in reference to. It's a little out of context for me at this point. Let's see. Oh, my battery's getting low. All right, so let me see here. My battery's getting low. I'm far away from the plugs here, so I know we'll probably cut out here in the next couple of minutes. So let me try to round off on PayPal, and then we can get the F up out of here, and we'll be back later on. Oh, we'll be back next week. All right, I think I'm going to be back in Germany for a quick little stop because I got to catch a flight. But let me see here. All right, we got like 3 or 4, and if the stream ends, that's because my laptop died. Shout out to Kayla, says, so we have another story of a woman not wanting to sleep with her husband. These married men need to stop lying to men and admit that they paid the most and got the least. This is why men shouldn't be giving up their 304s and being monogamous. Marriage just ain't it for men. All right, shout out to you right there. Yes, monogamy ain't it for me. All right, I know women want monogamy. I just think there's too much control related to that, and there's some reneging going on. Wheelant says, just a reminder, YouTube ain't ish without Coach. God bless you, sir. Shout out to you, man. And I got 1,500 people in here at peak doing a road stream. All right, that's impressive. We got 2 more before my laptop goes to sleep. No government ain't, Coach. He says you don't have to go overseas for glass bottled water. We have glass bottled water here in America. Enjoy yourself. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And I'm going to dinner here soon because I got to eat. And we got Martin in the building. Shout out to Martin. The King, Martin Muhammad, says, how do you stop a woman who uses an indiscretion you committed many years as a hammer of guilt every time she's insecure and also uses it as a control method? Well, I do that too, so I can't blame her. Right? Listen, if you have a trust issue and it is something that you did, please take accountability. You violated. Some people don't, men or women. So if you had a past indiscretion, you guys chose to stay together, and she keeps bringing it back up, I can't help that, bro. Listen, I have a hard time not bringing it back up. All right, so I can't get over that. I'm only human. So if you had a past indiscretion and you worked it out, but they keep bringing up the past, they haven't gotten over it, and they feel like they've been violated. And of course, they're probably going to then, you know, act a certain way. So yeah, if you cheated on her, yeah, I would expect her to bring that up for life. All right, so you can definitely all right, you can definitely guarantee that happened. Anyway, shout out to the Coach Gang, shout out to everybody here. It is evening time, 7:30 p.m. in Vienna, Austria, home of the Flatbacks. All right, I'm gonna go out there and check out what's going up there, but I'm gonna get some dinner. Thank you for joining me, and I'll catch up with you over the weekend. Money Mindset and JUCO stream. It's going to be on this weekend. Question and answer for Money Mindset in the middle of the night. In JUCO stream, I got a lot of JUCO updates for you. We out of here. Peace.